So today is Thursday, May 8th, and I'm here to give you your fishing report on Table Rock Lake. But before we get started, I'm going to tell you guys, look, you can book me for on the water lessons for $100. I have guys do that all the time. They're not tournament anglers. They're not go get 'em anglers or whatever you want to call it, but they want to know where fishing spots are. They want to know how I break down a lake. We either jump on my boat, or we can do a Zoom call, or I can jump on your boat, whatever you want to. I have a ton of guys do it. It's really easy. All you do is just call me up or go to my website and get my phone number. Call me and say, hey, I want to do on the water lessons with you for about an hour. Like I said, I charge $100 an hour. And it gets you some good fishing spots and some good tips and tricks. So, like I said, I have a lot of guys that do it. They have a lot of success at it. They call me all the time telling me thank you. So, I appreciate every one of them. And guys, if you want to book a guided trip with me, like I said, you can leave a comment here or go to my website. The quickest way to get a hold of me is through text message or call me. I do have a website where you can book it and all that stuff, but I just think it's easier just to text me and say, hey, I want to come this day. Are you open that day? And I'll either tell you yes or no, or we'll work something out so that you can book a trip with me and go have a good time. Right now it's a blowing and a going with guide trips, and school's about to get out, and so a lot of people want to do that. So all right, so let's get into our week. I'm going to break it down like I do every week. Basically, I'm going to tell you where I was fishing, what I was fishing, and how I was fishing it. Okay? So 3 parts. So where was I fishing? I didn't go fishing on Monday, but I went fishing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday, me and a buddy went and we were trying to find bait. We found bait on secondary points and main lake points. Now, we stood around the main part of the lake because we were catching quality fish. Not to say you can't go in the backs of creeks and catch fish. What I'm saying is we were catching quality fish, like bigger numbers. So on secondary points, we were catching smaller ones, but yet we weren't getting the quality that we wanted. Okay? On Wednesday, I did the exact same thing. I tried to find the bait. I went into bigger coves and found bait, started fishing it, and started catching fish. Same thing today. I mainly hit main lake points today. That's all I did. I saw bait all over the main lakes, but they are halfway in, halfway out. It's like a medium. There's some out in the main channel. There's some on the main lake, but yet there's some still halfway in the backs of creeks. But the key is find the bait. Once you stop seeing bait, pull over to the side and fish it all the way out to the main lake and go all the way around if that's what you want to do. Or you can just hit the main lake stuff and call it good. Okay, now what we were throwing. On Tuesday, my buddy was throwing a peanut butter and jelly jig, and he caught some really good ones. I did not throw the jig. I was throwing a Ned Rig peanut butter and jelly, and his fish seemed to be a little bit bigger than mine because he had a bigger bait, bigger profile, and I had this little rinky-dink Ned Rig, but I was still catching a couple fish. So we did good, right? Wednesday, totally different. It was raining on Wednesday, and for some odd reason, I went to the Port of Kimberly. I put in at Mill Creek, and I worked all the way from Mill Creek all the way up to, I want to say, Cow Creek. Let's just put it that way. And the water was pretty dirty. it was pretty muddy. It was a weird looking tint to it. I've never seen that tint in water, but it was like chocolatey milk type, but not chocolatey milk. It was weird. I went and found some cleaner water. Like I said, I found the bait. It started raining, and I put on a spook, a Sexydawg Jr, and I went to town on it, and I didn't put it up. I actually turned off my forward-facing sonar, and I knew what they were on, so I just went with that pattern, and I took that pattern over to other creeks and then another creek, and it was just, I just ran with it. And it just, like I pulled a good bag out of several creeks on Wednesday. I think it had to do with the rain and the cloud cover. I mean, it was an aggressive bite. I'll just say that. Today, we had some cloud cover, yet the sun was trying to peek out. The spook was doing great. The Ned Rig was doing great on main lake points. Swim bait still kicking butt. 2.8 Keitech with a dirty jigs guppy head. I think that's the ultimate setup with the swim bait. It's just the Keitech. It just gets it done. Okay, I think I had a 3/16 weight on there, and it got down there and around. I was catching fish in the 25 to 20 foot range. So there's that. So get you a peanut butter and jelly jig, paired up with a whatever creature bait you like, whatever crawl creature bait you want. Just make sure it's peanut butter and jelly. Get you a Ned Rig, peanut butter and jelly, and get you a spook ready because it's spook season. It's on. And get you a 2.8 Keitech and a Dirty Jigs Guppy Head 3/16. You can go heavier if you want to. That's just your preference. I think it pairs up great because I throw my swim jigs on a fairy wand. I throw it on a spinning reel. It's a lot slower, and it just gets down there with them, and they see it, and they just like it. So you can get all this tackle at Modern Outdoor Tackle. I'll leave everything in the description along with my website. I'll leave all the stuff, okay? So, like I said, Tuesday, we hit secondary points and main lake points. There are a few things you need to know on the points. Pick something out. Pick out a target, whether it be a bunch of rock piles. Those rock piles could be in 30 feet of water. Fish them. They're there. They're just sticking low to the ground. You can't hardly see them on your electronics. Brush piles. Fish beside them. Fish in them. They're there. That was Tuesday. Now with the spook, I'm not saying it was just that day. I don't want to get this wrong. It was just that day. It was a great day. It was low light conditions. It was raining, and it was still calm. Like that, there was no ripple on the water at all. And matter of fact, I don't even know why I picked up a spook. I just felt like doing it, and it seemed like the right time, and it paid off. Another thing with the spook, I was working that thing all the way back to the bait because I was getting a ton of followers. Like, there was probably at least 7 or 8 bass that I didn't catch that were probably anywhere from 5 to 6 pounds. And they would follow it all the way back to my boat. Like, there were several that were hitting it 4 feet from my boat. That's how bad they wanted it. And they wanted it. The whole thing was in their mouth. Like, you couldn't. But anyways, today, Thursday, went out on a main lake, saw some brush piles or some different kinds of rock. Threw that Ned Rig out there, immediately started catching 3 to 4 pounders. They're pretty well grouped up. I threw the swim bait some. because the sun come out and it's just the spook bite went off. But what I'm saying is I think in the mornings when there's low light conditions, for the first couple of hours, I would have a spook tied on and I would start throwing it, because I was targeting brush that was submerged in water that was about 20 to 30 feet out from the main lake point, and they were just killing it. They were coming right off of it. Same thing today. I would work that spook right over the top of them, and they would just throttle it as soon as it passed it. I did have a couple of strikes that were, up there in the 3 to 4 foot range, but I think they were small ones. I never got them on. But mainly the bigger bite is a little bit further out, and what I mean by further out, it needs to be about 30 feet out off the bank, and it just needs to be a laydown. You know what a laydown is? It's fell from the bank and it's in the water, and this big tree is in the water, and just work it over the top of the tree or work it right beside it. That's how I was getting all my bites with that spook. For the Keitech, I was throwing in 20 feet of water and just reeling it back nice and smooth. And the bite wasn't aggressive. I was literally just feel weight, and they would literally grab onto it and wouldn't let go. And I was just sitting there reeling, and I was like, oh, that feels a little heavy. And then I would have a fish on. So it's not an aggressive bite. The jig bite, Mitch said it wasn't too aggressive. It was just like it was spongy. He felt weight. Same thing with the Ned Rig. It's not aggressive. So you're just gonna have to sit there and bounce it. If you feel weight, you get it. So guys, I hope this helps you out this weekend. Guys, remember to go buy your mother flowers or take her out to dinner, okay? Because it's Mother's Day weekend. Don't forget that. I'm reminding all of y'all. So go out there and go buy your wife some flowers as well, because she deserves it. Guys, we love you here at the Hines house. We are getting a ton of subscribers, a ton of comments, people reaching out left and right saying thank you for all the stuff that I've done. And I when I hear stuff like that, it blesses my heart, because I'm knowing that I'm helping you guys out on the water. So guys, if you have any trouble or you're having trouble on the water, like I said, I do on the water lessons. Reach out to me. I'll come out there with you for an hour, and we'll break it down. We'll help you out. So guys, you have a very blessed weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. We will see you next week.